So we are joined now by Professor Alex Krumer from Molde, Høgskolen in Molde, Molde University College. And we are so happy that there is an Israeli professor in a higher education center in Norway.
Thank you very much for having me.
How did you come from Israel to Molde?
Well, I did all my degrees, bachelor and master and PhD in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a postdoc in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. So I had 3 years of postdoc. I had 2 more years continue there at the University of St. Gallen. And then I saw that Molde University College is looking for a sports economist. And actually what I'm doing, I'm an economist, but my expertise is in behavioral economics and sports economics. So these are the things I'm doing. And then I said, okay, let's see what is Molde University College.
Yeah.
So I submitted, and they took me. So I wasn't sure, to be honest, in the beginning. And my wife also said, well, Molde, where is Molde? Where is Norway? It's a small place. What will we do there? Mm-hmm. So it was, I wasn't sure about it, but I'm happy I'm here. It's an excellent place. And Norway is an excellent country. I really love it.
So how long time have you been here?
For 3 years. This month, it's exactly 3 years.
That's wonderful. And so a professor of sport economics, that means you are a sporty professor?
That means that I'm an economist, I'm a professor, I'm doing something about sports. How sporty I am, I'm not sure. I'm not in shape at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I love sports. But I took this passion to my profession, so yeah.
But are you doing outdoor activities in Norway? Many Israelis enjoy hiking in Norway, etc.
Yeah, we hike. So I also did a bit of hiking in Switzerland. I spent 3 wonderful years in St. Gallen.
Mm.
So we hiking from time to time, not as much as maybe I should, but we do. And I like walking around, and I see all those mountains and the fjord. And I have Israeli music in my so that's really crazy.
What has been some of the most positive surprises that you have had in Norway?
Well, people warned me that Norwegians are cold and not really friendly, and that is absolutely not true. Mm-hmm. That is just, I don't know, maybe that's not true in Molde. In other places people are cold, but I don't believe it. But in Molde I found really excellent people and friendly and supportive, and what can I tell you? I was really surprised, to be honest. I was really surprised. Because Norwegian people, they have this stigma, this people think that they are cold, but they don't really know them. And you can see it also in biathlon competitions, that they're always the smile is always on their faces. Mm-hmm. Has nothing to do with being cold, I guess.
Yeah.
And let's put it this way.
Any negative surprises?
Negative surprises? I'm not sure it was a surprise, but people also warned me that this is not a super Israel-friendly country. Mm-hmm. But still, when I saw it last May, I did not really like it. And this is an understatement. What I saw on media, whoa, guys, what's happening? So one-sided. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, because that was in May, like 3 months ago. That was when you came onto my radar when you defended Israel on Twitter. And did you get any reactions from neighbors or colleagues?
No,
at that
actually,
time?
maybe like a negative reaction, maybe one or two, but nothing really special. But I'm trying to explain our side, because Norwegian people, they don't get to see the other side. They only get to see the Palestinian side, that this is the right side. And I'm really sorry for the Palestinian people. These are we really want peace with them, full stop. You can read it in our Declaration of Independence, that we explicitly say our aim is to live in peace with our Arab neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go now to the Hamas charter. They're a bit less friendly towards Israel. Okay, let's put it this way. And I'm trying to explain that there is also another side, and we have the right to defend ourselves. And this is the only Jewish country in the world. So I mean, and then when you see, because people ask me, but you have these weapons and you have this defense and you are stronger. Okay, so how many Jewish people do you like to be killed that you will be happy that everything is equal? Like, what kind of statements are those? Yeah.
After a short break, we will be back with Professor Alex Krumer, and we will hear his best recommendations for Norwegian tourists in Israel, and his YouTube channel and other topics as well.
Det er veldig lærerikt, og vi får veldig mange flotte diskusjoner, og vi møter veldig mange spennende og interessante mennesker.
Så det er kjekt å treffe Israels venner, folk som man har truffet før, og nye mennesker. Det setter jeg pris på.
Jo, det er veldig kjekt. Det er veldig spennende, og jeg synes det er viktig å stå opp for Israel. Og så blir du veldig inspirert.
Det betyr veldig mye. Treffer masse meningsfeller fra veldig mange forskjellige sammenhenger. Det er spennende.
Det er det høydepunktet, å treffe likesinn og andre som brenner for sannheten.
Det er alltid kjekt å møte folk i MIFF, gode foredragsholdere med masse nyttig og god info. Så jeg lærer alltid kjempemasse når jeg er her.
Ja, jeg synes det er veldig bra. Man hører så mye bra informasjon. Du bare hører ting du aldri har tenkt eller hørt på, og får en helt ny, kanskje mer virkelig ekte fremstilling av hvordan situasjonen er.
Det er fantastisk. Det er veldig, veldig kjekt, og vi pleier å være her hvert år.
Ja, absolutt. Altså, MIFF er veldig flinke til å finne foredragsholdere. Så møter man andre med felles interesse, så jeg er veldig fornøyd.
Absolutt. Du har ingenting å tape, og du har alt å tjene på å få lov til å se konflikten med nye øyne. Du får lov til å utforske en arena, du får lov til å utforske et fellesskap, du får bygge masse relasjoner. Du har alt å tjene og ingenting å tape.
Veldig bra, og så er det veldig mye ulikt også. Det er både næringsliv, det er historie, det er ting som skjer nå. Og selvfølgelig da, ting som du på en måte aldri har tenkt over. Så det er utrolig lærerikt, så ja, det anbefaler jeg på det sterkeste. Bli med på Israel-konferansen.
We are back with Professor Alex Krumer from the University College of Molde, and he has been in Norway for 3 years, but I'm sure you haven't forgotten the best recommendations for restaurants or tourist spots or other secret gems in Israel.
No, we just came back from Israel. We spent some time in Israel with families.
So what should we do when Corona allows us to go there?
When Corona disappears? Yeah. Well, first of all, do not go to Israel in July and August. Really, that's so. I already forgot how it is.
Point taken.
My son said, "I want some cold."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really warm. But this is an amazing country, really. This is so much history there. Jerusalem, of course, there's not even a question. Tel Aviv, of course. These are, you know, the distance between the cities like 60, 70 kilometers, but these are two different worlds.
Yeah.
Jerusalem, you go to history of several thousand years. You go to the old city, you feel it. And by the way, I would recommend to take a guide to Jerusalem because the guide can show you places that you will never see.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tel Aviv is a people, like for young people, parties and sea and beaches and restaurants and excellent, really excellent. Of course, Dead Sea. That's you know, the lowest place in the world. So you should go there. Try to go there in February or March, not in July. That's but when you go down, when you go to the Dead Sea, you see those signs: 0 meters above the sea level, -100, -200, -300, and then you feel it in your ears.
Yeah.
And then it's -400 something, if I'm not mistaken. Eilat, of course, Eilat, Red Sea. There you can see this place where there is a border. You can see Jordan, you can see Egypt, Saudi Arabia is not far away. Lots of restaurants. The food is amazing. I'm a bit biased, yes.
Yeah.
but this is a very good country to visit.
Yeah.
Lots of history. You will be surprised. Like, you know, my father first went to Israel in 1988. I was born in the Soviet Union. And then in 1988, it was allowed to go to Israel. So he visited Israel and then he came back. And we only saw, you know, in the Soviet TV, we only saw what the Norwegian TV shows. Only explosions and only bad things. And he said, I've never heard any any rocket, nothing. So what we see on TV, it's not really what's happening. Yeah. Sometimes it is happening, but most of the time it's a quiet and peaceful place. Well, quiet, I'm not sure. But the one thing, be careful on the roads.
Yeah.
Israelis are known as not super best drivers. Okay, let's put it this way. But you should enjoy there. This is really, people are very happy in Israel, very happy.
Yeah.
Despite all those problems that are around, and despite the fact that the countries around us not always friendly to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when did your family do Aliyah?
So when I was 12 in 1991, we made an Aliyah, and for those who don't know what is Aliyah, is actually immigration to Israel. And the translation is that you go up.
Yep.
Okay, you go up to because also to Jerusalem, we always say we go up to Jerusalem. Okay, so when we drive to Jerusalem, we say we go up to Jerusalem. Yep. So we did it in 1991. That was, I even remember the feeling. In the Soviet Union, there was nothing. The country was collapsing.
Yeah.
Like, you saw it in front of your eyes that something terrible is happening. My parents could afford a T-shirt for their monthly salary, and my father was a teacher. My mother is a doctor. So and there was nothing in stores, and I remember we had to have this long waiting list to buy sugar, and you had this not only with money, you had this cards. Crazy. And then we came to Israel, and then I came to the store, and there was everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, is it even possible?
Yeah.
So I really remember this. And then I did my studies. I went to school. I went to the army. I studied there. I met my wife. My kids were born there. So.
Did you have any knowledge of Hebrew before you moved?
No, only the usual one, the shalom.
Yeah.
No.
Was it a big struggle for you the first couple of years?
Well, kids do it better. I think in 1 year I was already kind of. I see it on my son and on my daughter. They already flew.
Yeah.
I'm the problematic one.
De snakker norsk bedre enn deg?
When I speak Norwegian with them, they say, no, Papa, please.
Yes. So apart from your research and your teaching in Molde, you are also running a successful YouTube channel.
Well, thank you very much. It's a nice one. It's a nice experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So what I'm doing, as I said, I investigate sports and economics, let's put it this way, and then you can do it economics of sports, like to see different things in sports industry and how you can improve it. But sometimes you can use sports that can help economics.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best laboratory you can think of to study humans' behavior, because everything is real. People are professionals. They know the rules. They play for the prize. And, you know, unlike laboratory experiments with students where it's kind of artificial and you don't really know whether the students understand what they are doing, which is, again, that's important. Lab experiments are important. But sports is a very good laboratory. And then I can show different phenomena like choking under pressure, like how incentives work, like nationalistic bias, for example. I have this study. I have two studies that's really crazy that some Israeli does those things. I have a study on biathlon. Actually, I have two studies on biathlon, where I show that at home, biathletes miss significantly more than abroad. So there is a choking. They are over enthusiastic probably. When you want too much, actually what you get is not so good. And then I remember I presented this paper in Norwegian Conference of Economic Association of Norway. And then I said, well, that's really crazy that an Israeli explains Norwegians about biathlon. Yeah. And then there is another study on ski jumping where I show that, where we show me and my colleagues from the University of Tübingen in Germany, where we show that judges assign significantly higher scores to their compatriots. And the only two countries that don't do it, it's Finland and Norway. So it was in some newspapers, Norwegians really liked it. By the way, the worst country in that regard, the worst referees or referees with the highest, larger nationalistic bias are referees from Russia. And I remember some Ukrainian websites, they were celebrating on this finding. Like, okay, I did not want to provoke any political thing, but that's the finding. We can provide the data and people can find it.
Surprise, surprise.
So and then I decided to make some short movies on YouTube about those things, because those things, you know, in my studies, in my research, it's very easy to you see. In 1 minute, I explained what I'm doing. I like simple things. Okay, when people see the estimations and the amount of data and all those equations, they say, no, that's not simple. Okay, but the question is very simple. So that's what we are doing, and this is what I'm doing on my YouTube. I gather different sports-related studies, not about sports, because the biathlon paper is not about sport. The ski jumping, it's not about ski jumping, it's about humans' behavior.
Yeah.
And we just make short movies of 5-6 minutes. We try to make it funny.
Very nice.
If you watch me, I recommend you to watch some of my YouTube videos.
Yeah, please look up Alex Krumer on YouTube and subscribe and like and everything. Do you have any ideas how academic cooperation between Norway and Israel can be strengthened?
That's a very good question, and let's say I tried. In the beginning, we tried to go for this Erasmus Plus program for cooperation between Molde University College and Ben Gurion University. It was rejected by the referees in Norway. And that's fine. You know, in academia, you have many rejections.
Yeah.
But when I received the final report, I was a bit puzzled. Let's say that was a really bad submission. We did a very poor job. Okay. But then I saw they divided to geographical regions. So in my application was about Israel. was with Israel. So this is kind of Mediterranean area. And then in total, there were only 2 rejections. By the way, it was in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, 18, 19, something like that. There was only 2 rejections in this area. Both were from Israel. All the rest were either accepted or conditionally accepted. Now, and there were like countries like Tunis, Palestine, Jordan. Okay, because that's the area. That's what we have. And then I said, okay, probably I did a really poor job. That's fine. And then I saw what is the other Israel-related project that was rejected. And that was in a university. I don't remember the exact university in Norway. They submitted simultaneously 2 projects. One to Israel, one to Palestine. It was something with nurses. And guess what? Israel was rejected, Palestine was accepted. I really don't know. I don't want to go into conclusions. Okay, and maybe their Israeli application was also bad and Palestinian one was good. And maybe my Israeli application was also bad and the others were good. I cannot judge. But this raises some questions, at least. Okay? That's my answer. How can we strengthen because I think Norway would benefit a lot from cooperation with Israel. Just for you to understand, several weeks ago, there was a new Shanghai ranking that was released, like best universities in the world. And there was only 1 Norwegian university in top 100, which is University of Oslo. And there were 3 Israeli universities in top 100, which is Hebrew University, Weizmann Institute, and Technion. And in total, there were also some other universities in top 200, Tel Aviv University, in top 500, Bar Ilan, Ben Gurion. And in Norway, NTNU was in the second 100, and then Bergen in the third 100 or fourth 100, and then 700 or something. And in that regard, I think Norway, and when you compare Norway to other countries in Scandinavia, there is lots of place to improvement. Because, for example, in Sweden, they also have 3 universities in top 100. And Denmark, they have 2 universities in top 100. Norway is not a poor country. Norway is a very rich country. So there is place for improvement, like everywhere. But we should ask ourselves, who do we want to cooperate and why we don't cooperate with some countries and we do cooperate with others. But again, that was my experience. I do not want to generalize anything.
Let's hope. Maybe there will be a change after the elections in September. Let's see. Jokes aside, what is your most interesting project for this autumn?
So actually, I'm doing a study now. We are completing a study with my student, master student from sports management program, and we are doing a paper on Norwegian football. Where we actually find there is a huge decline in attendance over the last decade, like 35%. I said, cannot be that. These are really huge numbers. Something is going wrong with the Norwegian football in that regard. Of course, there are big successes in terms of superstar players, but with attendance, something should be done. And then we did this study because actually my wife asked me this. The games, most of the games are at 6 o'clock on Sunday. It's a bit late, I would say. Okay, as a consumer with a little son who also likes football, and we support Molde FK. You can see their Molde FK. And then said, okay, let's check. It seems a bit late. And we gathered all the data since 2009 to 2019, and we indeed find that Saturday games attract significantly more crowd than Sunday games, at least 5% more.
Wow.
So this is one if you look at the broader picture, if we move games from Sunday to Saturdays, and as a Jewish, maybe we shouldn't, but if we move now, let's talk seriously, if we move games from Sunday to Saturdays, not only you'll have more crowd, but maybe also the local business will benefit because people may go to local restaurants after the games.
Yeah.
Because they are less likely to do it on Sunday evening because Monday it's a working day and you have kids who have to go to school. And also in the long term, it's a big threat if kids don't go to games now. So that's what we are doing.
Yeah. Interesting. Have you presented it to any soccer teams yet?
No, we sent it to the Norwegian Federation. I've never heard back from them.
Let's see. Maybe you can.
Maybe they have lots of things to do, so I really don't want to.
Maybe you have the solution for that can save Norwegian soccer teams.
Let's see. Israeli helps Norway in football. It was as funny as Israeli explains Norwegians about biathlon and ski jumping.
Yeah. Yeah. Alex, I won't take more of your time. Thanks a lot for joining us, and all the best in your work in Molde, and hopefully we can meet you one day, and maybe you can join a MIFF meeting or conference.
Thank you very much. It would be my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Litt råd.